I'm Copeland Welch. When most people hear government shutdown, well, they think of politics in Washington, D.C. But a local political science professor says it could have real impacts here at home.
So the effect locally now is minimal. But as these things go on, if it goes on, then the effects will start to multiply. We'll see a dip in the economy, a dip in economic activity, simply because there'll be less money being spent.
And for those deemed essential employees, such as military members stationed at Dyess Air Force Base, they could start to feel the effects sooner than others.
Dyess Air Force Base, those employees who are essential employees will be working, they just won't get paid. So there could be a short-term effect in terms of simply lack of spending by employees who work at Dyess, military members, that sort of thing.
The Associated Press reports that roughly 750,000 federal employees could be furloughed each day of the shutdown. But Dr. Paul Fabrizio tells us some federal entities in Abilene won't be affected.
The post office is, I understand, not affected because it has its own separate budget. It's considered a quasi-government agency. Social Security checks will still get mailed. Medicare, Medicaid payments will still be made, at least as of now.
The big question, why is the government shutdown happening? Dr. Fabrizio says it's a result of conflict in Congress, specifically a disagreement about the budget for the next fiscal year.
The Democrats benefit by standing up to Donald Trump. The Republicans benefit by standing for Donald Trump. Leads to the situation we're in right now leads to a conflict.
Government shutdowns aren't anything new, and Dr. Fabrizio says they've actually become more common over the past 20 years, with the last one happening in 2018. So we asked him, what would it take to end this one?
What you've got is you need 60 votes in the Senate. There's 53 Republicans, so you need 7 Democrats to support it. And right now there's 3 Democrats who support it. If they can pick up another 4, then government would go back into operation.
While Dr. Fabrizio says there's no way of knowing how long the shutdown will last, he says it will take time before the consequences and impacts are felt here in the big country.
The city of San Angelo is supporting retirees and federal workers during the government shutdown. I'm Tori Garcia, and I spoke with the Director of Public Works in San Angelo about what steps the city's taking to make sure that those affected don't fall behind on their utility bills. As the federal government shutdown stretches on, San Angelo city officials say they want to make sure local residents aren't left struggling to cover their basic needs. The city announced it will waive late fees and suspend service shutoffs for federal employees and retirees during the shutdown, a move they say is meant to ease financial pressure.
During this time, we want to ensure that we're doing what we can to help them and assist them through the hard times. As we moving forward, it's going on 2, 3, 4 weeks, and we don't know when the end's in sight. So we want to ensure that our whether it's our service members or our federal employees with the USDA, TSA, any of those folks that work with federal government or did work with federal government as retirees, we want to ensure that we're taking care of them.
Kelton says the action was put in place last week, just as the first billing cycles of the shutdown are starting to arrive in mailboxes across San Angelo.
To wake up one morning and not have and realize that you're not going to have a paycheck for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, whatever that is, and until the government decides to work through their issues and get everything back up and going again. That's tough. I mean, it's a tough realization to come by. We all get dependent on that paycheck, and so again, we're just glad that we have the opportunity to be able to provide that service to our federal employees.
KTXS asked, how will waiving late fees be beneficial to the federal workers and retirees?
We're going to make sure that all of our federal employees and retirees can make sure that they're feel comfortable in their homes and don't have to worry about the stresses of the water bills and suspension of services or late fees or any of those type things.
Kelton says the decision isn't expected to hurt the city's budget. And while the shutdown's end remains uncertain, he hopes this small gesture brings some peace of mind.
We know that it's a difficult time and it's not of their own making, and so we're just there to try to support them and help them.
To qualify for the waiver, visit the City Hall Annex and present a government-issued ID.
The United States went into a federal government shutdown on October 1st. I'm Brenna Gibbons, and I sat down with Senator Ted Cruz to talk about how this shutdown will be impacting Abilene and the Big Country.
Government employees all over the country on October 15th did not get their paycheck.
We asked Senator Cruz, what does a government shutdown mean for Abilene and the Big Country?
About 17 to 18% of the federal government shuts down. About 82 to 83% continues. The basic principle is everything that is essential continues.
Some of the operations considered as essential is the military, law enforcement, Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security.
What shuts down is functions that are deemed non-essential, so things like the national parks.
He told us that one of the biggest impacts that people will see is federal government employees not getting their paychecks.
So they're expected to essentially work for free, and then typically after the shutdown, they get back pay.
However, he said that DIAS personnel will continue to get paid for the time being.
President Trump announced this week is that he is going to pay the military, even though ordinarily the military would not get paid. He is shifting funds within the Department of War to ensure that our fighting men and women get their paycheck. It's not clear how long that can continue, but I think it is strong leadership from the president to say we're going to have the back of our fighting men and women.
Senator Cruz told us that the reason we have this government shutdown is,
in order to pass funding to keep the government open, it takes 60 votes in the Senate. There are only 53 Republicans. That means Republicans cannot keep the government open on our own. We have to have Democrat cooperation. We need at least 7 Democrats. And right now, the Democrats are voting almost entirely party line. I think there are 3 Democrats who have joined with us to keep the government open, but we need at least 7.
Senator Cruz told us that even though majority of government employees did not get their paycheck on October 15th, several members of the Congress did.
Under the 28th Amendment of the Constitution, compensation for members of Congress cannot be altered during their term in office. What that means is even during a shutdown, members of Congress continue to get paid.
He says that despite this, not all members of the Congress chose to get paid.
Now, you don't have to. When this shutdown started, I sent a letter to the Secretary of the Senate saying, please hold my paycheck. Do not deposit 1 penny in my bank account until this shutdown is over.
As of this moment, it's unclear when the government shutdown will come to an end. To view that full interview with Senator Cruz, visit our YouTube channel at KTXS Abilene.
As we enter week 3 of the government shutdown, I'm Caitlin Leggett taking a look at the impact it has on local food pantries right here at home.
Politics and government coming in and tariffs and all that.
We spoke with Becky Almanza of the Highland Food Bank.
We are kind of not able to get as much USDA foods.
The stalemate in Washington is creating uncertainty for millions of federal employees, including many right here in the Big Country.
If the big West Central Texas Food Bank can't get it, then they can't pass it on to us, and so that's kind of hard. And so with the influx of people coming in, that makes it hard for us to keep food on the shelves.
The food bank and its network of more than 100 partner agencies are preparing for a possible surge in demand.
Tonight, the line is crazy long, and it'll probably get longer. So just the shutdown, cost of food, it's affecting everybody.
The Food Bank of West Central Texas, which serves a 13-county area, says about 55,000 people are already food insecure. CEO Brandon Forrest says if the shutdown continues, more families, including the 5,000 at DIAS Air Force Base, could struggle to put food on the table. While military members will receive full pay this week, that relief may be short-lived.
Food, the West Central Texas Food Bank has ground beef, meat, but at the same time, they're all limited as well. So we haven't been able to get hardly any of the canned goods lately, but hopefully that'll change.
He says their goal is to.
Our board and elders are very, not adamant, but they want us to keep open as much as possible.
Almanza says they rely on area donations and food drives to sustain the community.
We really don't even have a plan right now, other than we're just gonna trust that food will be donated.
For those wanting to help, you can donate or volunteer by visiting our website at ktxs.com.
A local food pantry in Abilene will see an increase in demands because SNAP benefits will be running out by the end of this week. I'm Jackson Burleson, and 42 million Americans rely on these benefits. I also discussed with the food pantry about what their plan is moving forward.
Since it looks like the SNAP benefits are going to go away for a while, we're making sure we're stocking up lots of food, and our front office people are just going to be prepared to see more people. Fortunately, there's a lot of churches and even a school, Taylor Elementary, that will have food drives. And one church, University Church, does it every year in November, and they'll not only give food, but they'll give money so we can purchase food at the food bank for a lower cost.
The Christian Service Center has already received many donations. A couple who volunteers every Monday here has seen firsthand what people are feeling about this situation.
They are desperate. They have been able to get food stamps so that they can get by. And now that's shut off. They have nothing. And so they're going to have to depend on the neighborhood, the city. Otherwise, they won't have any food.
The pantry has a plan, but even with one, it is still a challenge to restock its supply.
Yeah, we are really feeling the pressure the last couple of weeks from people coming in. But our receptionists say they're anxious, they're stressed out, some are just angry, and they get all mad at us and we haven't done anything because they're feeling the economic pressure. Not just the government shutdown or upcoming SNAP benefits stopping for a while, but prices of food going up, price of beef. We can't even get chicken from the food bank right now because they're out of it now.
One volunteer at the pantry anticipates that the number of visitors will double, and staff has already seen new people asking for help.
Interesting, we're getting more demand from new people who've never asked us before. We had one woman come and said, I just feel embarrassed, but I'd never asked for help, but I'm going to need some food.
For more information about the federal government shutdown, you can visit our website at ktxs.com.
I'm Caitlin Leggett, and as we near a full month into the government shutdown, lawmakers in Washington have yet to reach a deal. That means many federal workers and families are left wondering how long they can go without paychecks and benefits. But here in Abilene, officials want families to know that one critical program is still up and running.
About 1,300 or so could see delays in their benefits. That's a significant loss of food assistance, grocery benefits. In your area, about 5.8 million over the course of November, and each day that means about 208,000 in grocery benefits that won't be going to needy families. So
government officials posted this message on the U.S. Department of Agriculture's official website, alerting people to the delays in Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP, benefits. We spoke with the Nutrition Program Manager for Taylor County Health.
Now, I can't speak for WIC across the United States because it's different for every state. Mm-hmm. And so for Texas WIC, for Abilene specifically, we remain open for business. Mm-hmm. And we will continue to operate during the government shutdown.
Officials here in Abilene want to clarify that the WIC program, which serves expecting and new mothers as well as children up to age 5, is still fully operational.
We have monies that have been provided to Texas WIC, and those monies have come from Section 32, which is an emergency funding provided for WIC program. And we also have monies that are being looked into from other resources like our formula rebate. But at this current moment, we are totally funded through the end of November.
Wood says thanks to emergency funding, WIC is still accepting new clients through November. But if the government shutdown continues into the holiday season, operations could depend on month-to-month funding. For the most up-to-date information regarding WIC, visit the MyWIC app or our website for more information on how to stay informed. Officials here tell me that they'll continue to monitor the government shutdown's impact, but for now, WIC clients here in Abilene can rest assured that services will still be available for the month of November.
I'm Alex Webb here in Stevens County, where local officials and volunteers in the community are taking action to help thousands across Stevens County who may be going without SNAP benefits during the government shutdown.
We were notified last week that the SNAP benefits most likely would not be available for November the 1st. The need is substantial.
With thousands of people in Stevens County alone at risk of facing food insecurity, community leaders are racing against the clock to contribute to a void of over $180,000 in benefits, impacting roughly 15% of the county population. Jumping into action, county officials held a meeting on Monday inviting community partners to put an emergency plan in place.
So what we decided was that we would do food cards that would essentially replace or supplement their SNAP benefits. It can be used for the same thing.
The distribution center will be located at First Methodist Church, where food cards and donations will be sorted and directed to families that are struggling in the absence of this essential federally funded program.
Although it's happening, the distribution will be here. This is not just this church's project. It's going to involve all the different churches in town, individuals.
And I think this is just a continuation of our team building through COVID, and then after that we had Winter Storm Uri, and through that great partnerships were formed.
KTXS asked if the county is doing enough to support residents in the community who may soon be struggling to keep food on their table. But even their best efforts will not be enough.
It's $184,000 a month is what those individuals receive in Stevens County. It's $2.2 million a year in total SNAP benefits. It can only be filled by the federal government.
We may not be able to raise $184,000 before Friday. We'll chip away at it and keep it going and, do the best we can to see people are taken care of.
Heading into November, Stevens County leaders and partners say that they will continue to step up and support, hoping the federal government will soon do the same. For more information on steps the county is taking to support the community during the government shutdown, you can visit us at our website at ktxs.com.
Amid the ongoing government shutdown and with many families across the country preparing to lose SNAP benefits, community support is more important now than ever. And that's exactly why an organization in Abilene is stepping up to the plate. I'm Brianna Dennehy reporting from Global Samaritan Resources, where I spoke with Executive Director Andrew Kelly about how Global Samaritan is amping up donations to local nonprofits in need.
Through our 55,000 square foot warehouse, we're able to bring in truckloads of goods. And so we have partnerships all across the United States with other organizations. We recently, in light of what was coming on the horizon with SNAP benefits, we knew that food was going to be a thing that's greatly needed. And we have great food pantries, but when there's a situation like this, there's always a need for more. And so Global kind of fills that gap. We're able to contract, and we brought in a 53-foot truckload of Nabisco product last week. It's roughly about $150,000 worth of food, and we were able to bring it in from Fort Worth for $1,000.
Kelly has been working with the organization for roughly 2 years, and he says that once Global Samaritan heard about SNAP benefits coming to an end, they immediately began planning ahead. Kelly shared that anyone in need of food can dial a simple 3-digit number.
So for those who are in need of food, my recommendation is that they call 211. When they call 211, which is kind of overseen by United Way, they'll speak to an operator and they will give them a referral to a local food pantry. We have amazing food pantries here in Abilene. People that genuinely care, they'll work with those that need it, and they'll help get them food.
Kelly offered some insight into what those willing to pitch in can do to help.
If you're in Abilene and if you're looking for a way to kind of respond and help those who need it, My recommendation is that you reach out to a food pantry, whether it be the Highland Food Pantry, the Presbyterian Food Pantry, the Methodist Food Pantry, City Lights, Love and Care Ministries. All of these organizations are going to be hit in the next couple of days and weeks, and they could greatly appreciate it.
The future of federal aid may be uncertain, but it's clear that community support here in Abilene remains strong.